In this episode, we're going to take a look at two popular topics with especially new users that center around basically how many parcels you should be earning in a year, as well as what the rarities on those parcels and mixture of rarities should be. If this sounds interesting to you, please stand by. Hey, all you Atlas Earthlings, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here, once again saying thanks for dropping by. As always, I appreciate the time you spend with me. Please leave a like on the video if you're getting value out of it, and after you've watched a few, if you like them, please subscribe. Those who have, I appreciate it. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, there's two popular topics I want to talk about in this episode. The first one we're going to reference a viewer question on this one, and it is under the general umbrella of either, hey, I've been playing longer than you. Why do I not have as many parcels as you? Or two, a user asks in the Reddit or on Discord or something, and their question is something to the effect of, how many parcels should I be earning in a day or a week or a month or whatever? So this all kind of falls under the same umbrella. We're going to go ahead and cover it. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to bhuff557 or bhuff557, who is a viewer that left this comment on a recent video of mine. Says, I have been with Atlas Earth for 1.5, he doesn't say it, but I'm assuming years, and I've only made 143 US dollars. I have only spent $5 on Atlas Earth the whole time. I have had it, and you have made over $300. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have a total of 138 parcels and only have made $143. Okay, so this kind of is the same question, and it's basically boils down to how many parcels a year should you be making, just dependent upon what you actually do in the game. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to say that a lot of people who come into the Reddit or come into the Discord and they have been playing for a long time but have very few parcels are probably not putting a whole lot of time and effort into the game. So let's take a look at this slide. So I'm not really calling out bhuff just because that they had made the question there. So I'm not calling out how they play the game because we all play in a different manner. But they asked me directly why they had earned less than I have while playing longer. So we're going to look at the math here a little bit. Okay, so at very first, we're just going to consider the very minimal, what I consider playing Atlas Earth. And, it's not really playing, but as we know, this app works on ad revenue. So the very minimal you can do in this game is watch an ad every 20 minutes. If you're in the States, you earn 2 Atlas bucks for that. If you're outside the United States, you earn 1. So the first line of this slide says 3 times 24 hours equals 72 times 2 equals 144 Atlas bucks in the US, or 72 that's divided in half outside of the United States. So the very minimal that you can do is watch ads all day long. Now, 144 is the max here in the States. I know that nobody's going to get a perfect 144. If you do, you're not going to do it for too many days straight because you're not going to have any sleep, right? So a lot of the, whenever I go into my figures, I'm not figuring that you're making all 144 in a day. But I think it's safe to say that if you can hit 100 Atlas bucks a day in the United States and make 1 parcel a day, that is pretty good progress, right? And that's without doing anything else, right? That's just watching your ads, okay? It is fully possible to earn 1 parcel a day in the United States just by watching your ads and being very up on your timing and watching them most of the day. Now, outside the United States, that would mean roughly, roughly 1 parcel every other day, maybe a little bit more. Your average is going to go up over time, but you should be able to average 1 parcel every other day living outside the United States, and it's going to be different in each area. Some of the areas are a little bit harder to make it. Some of the areas are a little bit easier because of your tier levels. So required, that is. Okay, so with those numbers in mind, in the United States, that would give you roughly, 1 a day, 365 parcels in a year, just watching ads, keeping up on your ads in the United States, that would be 182 parcels per year outside of the United States. Okay, and that is just watching the ads. That's not even taking into account doing everything else. So you have the AMP program, the arcade, the surveys, the mini games, travel program, Explorer Club, Challenge Ladder. All of that adds to your total of Atlas bucks and makes it easier to acquire more parcels, right? So what does this boil down to? I just divided it into low and high activity. I think I could have probably put a median activity in there, but what I consider low activity and free to play is in the United States, 350 to 400 parcels. In the US is fully doable, okay? And low activity and free to play outside the United States, I would consider somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 200. And that is pretty much doable by just watching ads and, throwing in an extra game here or there, an extra survey here or there to get you into that neighborhood. That means low activity. Okay, now on the high activity, that can range all the way up because the high activity is going to include the two different subscriptions that you're going to do. You're going to have to do the AMP program. If you're here in the United States, you can use the travel program, making good use of the arcade and the mini games and all these other things that go into playing Atlas Earth. So my answer to bhuff 557 would be this. I've made more because probably I've put more time and effort into the game. I play games on a daily basis, arcade games. I do surveys on a weekly basis. I take part in most of the different activities to earn Atlas bucks. I subscribe to the challenge ladder. I make sure I complete the challenge ladder on a monthly basis. I don't subscribe to the Explorer Club, but even considering that, I put more money into the game, right? You said you've only put $5 in. I think last time I figured I had put about $100 in between my subscriptions as well for my monthly subscription for the challenge ladder, as well as a little bit like $20 or $30 where I did rent conversions to fulfill this, rank up on the challenge ladder. So, if you put a little bit into, I found that you get more than what you put into it back. So those type of things have helped me come forward in the game a lot quicker. And it's just, I think it's just about time and advertising, right? You put your time in, watch your ads, play a few games, use the AMP program if you can, do the mini games if you can place, if you're good enough, and all of this will improve. Not to mention that I've made use of the referral codes, over the last year, a little bit over a year now, and that has helped me out as well. Those are due to come back. I don't know when. They said they're working on the system, but when the referral codes come back, if you have a social media presence, put it out there, do some posts and say, hey, this is what Atlas Earth is about. Make a short video or, make a short post wherever you're at and put your code out there and explain to people about the game. It's advertisement for the game, and then you get a little bit of kickback when somebody uses your code. So all of these things help out. And what I think is, I'm not dogging you, bhuff, but what I'm saying is a lot of times people come into Reddit and they'll say, hey, I've been playing for 2 years and I only got 57 parcels. Well, it comes down to you just haven't really put much time and effort into the game. Okay, with that said, I'm going to hit on one more small topic. Okay, another popular thing that happens on Reddit on a daily basis, in fact, multiple times every day on a daily basis, is a new user coming on and posting, they've got, generally about 10 parcels, and then they'll say, hey, I've got this many common, this many rare, this many epic, etc. And then they'll ask, hey, is this a good ratio? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can find out exactly what the ratios are on your home screen here under your account by just tapping on this little question mark right above your common parcel to the right and tapping it. And it tells you exactly what percentages you should see of the parcels you turn over. Okay, commons 50%, rares 30%, epic 15%, and legendary 5%. And you can see how much each one of those parcels makes. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you're going to see exactly this, because what happens, or what I've seen, is up until you get your first 100 parcels, it may vary wildly as far as your ratios. You may get extremely lucky and get a few epics and legendaries. You may have a lot more commons. But what I found is after you get to the 100 mark and start going over a little bit, you start to see, I started to see my averages even out. Now, with that said, I still have I've always had a little bit more commons than others. And you will have other things that affect your ratio. If you start getting legendary parcel upgrades through doing the challenge ladder, that will be extra legendaries for you that will increase your your percentage on legendaries. But I'm here to tell you that for the most part, I found that everything averaged out at about that 100 mark. And you can probably expect to have more commons than others unless you get wildly lucky. So if you see somebody with a greater disparity of a lot of epics and legendaries versus rare and commons, then that's something that is going to send off red lights or red flags, and that account's going to be looked at, because that's one of the things they look at for being against terms of service and otherwise manipulating the rarities of the parcels on an account. So that's not the topic of this video, but I wanted to show new users where they could find what they should expect out of the game as far as drop rates go, which is just like expecting one rare in a pack when you open it in a collectible card game or something like that. You can expect 50% of the time to get a common, and in my what I found, you can expect to get a common about 55% of the time. And I've went on streaks where I had 12 commons in a row, so it doesn't surprise me. But just keep chugging along and your ratios will even out. So this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.